and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to Product of the Month. So what is Product of the Month? Well, Product of the Month is if you spend £70 or more in one purchase, Stampin Up gives you an opportunity to buy a product for £5. So in May, having spent more than £70, I was able to get this beautiful product, which is Vellum. It's very flexible. Now, you might be wondering why in May am I advertising it now in June? It's still available. So supplies are available until they run out. So I wanted to show you May's one before it runs out and give you a chance to purchase it. It is a beautiful vellum. It's very thick and very good quality vellum. So it's normally when you have vellum, if you put glue on it or anything, it shows through. But with this vellum, you can actually use the Stampin' Seal and very little of it shows through. But I'll show you that in a moment when we make the card. But I wanted to show you the papers. So you get 4 designs. There's 12 sheets in total. I've got a piece of white with me because when you put it over like that, you can see how beautiful this paper or this vellum is. So that's the first sheet. Then we have got this beautiful line sheet. So you've got nice little boxes here. So it's checkered. You could use that for quite a few bits. There is another piece of flowered paper, which you can see is a lot more flowers in it, a lot more detail. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. And then we've got these beautiful dots on a peaceful pine background. Okay, so that is our papers. Let's show you the card and we can begin. So the card we're going to create this morning is this one. And I'm using all 3 papers, as you can see, or 3 of the 4 papers, as you can see. And I'm sticking to the colours that you will find in the paper pack, which are Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, Misty Moonlight, Peaceful Pine, and Soft Sea Foam and Strawberry Slush. So there's quite a variety of colours in there, but I'm sticking. So this is the hue, the Hydrangea Hue, and we're going to use the Golden Glow for our cards this afternoon. So let's bring in the supplies. So the first one we've got is our card base, which is 8 inches by 5 3/4, and as usual, it is scored on the 4-inch mark. Then I've got 3 pieces of white cardstock. Let's bring those into play. So the first one measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Then we have a second one which is 2 1/2 by 4 inches, and our third piece is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. Now these are all backings for the vellum. So let's bring those in. First piece is 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. And the reason being we're on the 8th bit is because I didn't want lots of white showing. I just wanted to use the white to enhance the vellum. So that's the first piece. Second piece is 2 3/8. That's 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. So that's 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. And then our final piece is 2 5/8 by 3 1/8. And then I have a little strip for a sentiment, which is 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4. And I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine for the sentiment. I'm using, for the first time, Happiest Birthday Wishes from the new stamp set, Phrases and Frames. So let's get myself a block. There we go, we've got a block. And as I said, I'm going to use the Happiest of Birthday Wishes. Let's take that out. Okay. This particular stamp set gives you quite a few good sentiments that you could have. So you've got Thinking of You, Happiest of Birthdays, Fabulous Day, Happy Anniversary, and then you've got lots of infill. So you've got Sending Prayers, Heartfelt Sympathy to you and your family. So that would go with your Thinking of You. You've got anniversaries are for celebrating the joys of today. the memories of yesterday and the hopes of tomorrow. So you've got some nice little infills for the middle of your card, should you wish to use them. But I'm just going to use happiest of birthday wishes for now. Right. Let's bring our paper in and we can begin. So the easiest of things to do really is to stick them down with our Stampin' Seal. And I seem to have put mine aside. What on earth have I done with it? It's going to be sitting right in front of me. 2 seconds. No, it's not. Okay, so let's get a new one out. So I've got a packet here. I'm just going to open that. And if none of you have ever seen this before, it's quite an easy look. You know, I knew I'd find it. I'll carry on anyway. This opens up. You've got 2 little nobules here, which correspond with 2 nobules here. You've got one at the top, one at the bottom. Clip it in, and then that fits on the top, like so, and it works. Right, well, let's finish this one off. I'm going to sit down for this bit. Right. So I'm simply going to put a little bit of the Stampin' Seal at the top of the first piece of vellum and also down the bottom. Okay. Now this fits quite snugly. It's going to have a very thin border going around the edge. So just make sure you've got a thin border at the top and at the sides, and then you can stick it down, and then you know in theory it's going to do the same at the bottom there for you. Right, so that's the first one. Let's do the second one. So again, the same method. One at the top, one at the bottom. Making sure that, very sticky, making sure that the top and the sides are even. And once you're happy, you can then just slip them down. That's our second one. And then our third and final one for the vellum. Again, at the top and at the bottom. And as you can see, or should I say, as you can't see, you can't really see where the Stampin' Seal has gone on to your vellum. Right, so before I stick it onto the card, what I like to do is work out where this piece is going to go. So once I'm happy where it's going to go, then I'm going to bring in my multi-purpose. I'm going to turn it over, make sure I'm working out where it is, and I'm only going to put glue on this section here. There we go. Turn it back over. There we go. So we've got, I just jiggle it around because I want the top and bottom to be very similar. They're never going to be identical unless we get a huge ruler out and sort it out. This now gives you an easy position to put this on. So again, this time I'm only going to put glue on the bottom one. Like so. If you wanted to, you could raise it and put it on dimensionals. I'm happy with that. Make sure it doesn't squiggle around too much. Okay, while that is drying, I'm going to bring in my strip to put my sentiment on. So as I said, I've got my Peaceful Pine. So these are our new magnetic ink pads. Really, really good. So easy to open, which is brilliant because I had an operation on my wrist many years ago. And sometimes opening these, the old-fashioned, the other stamp sets could actually cause me a little bit of pain in my wrist. But these are quite easy. They just simply slip open. So you can take them apart, but they're magnetic. So just flip it behind and therefore you will not lose your lid. Right, I'm just going to take my bone folder and just, the edge is a little bit rough and I did change my blade, but for some reason, there we go. So we're all nice and neat. Perfect. So back to inking this up. Make sure it's straight down, and straight up. Okay, and then when you come to put this away, giving that a second to dry over there, just unclips, and again you can just turn it around and you've got it nicely there. And the advantage of this is if you've got like the golden glow, you can put that on the top, and then you can end up picking up the two of them, which is easy for transporting. Right, I am going to put this one on dimensional, so I'm going to turn it over and get my dimensionals out, and I'm just going to put one in the middle and one either side. There we go. I'm going to take the backings off. Perfect. Whoops. And that can then go on your base card, which I've done in Golden Glow. So a very quick card to create on a Monday, as usual. But I hope you will agree that it is still a very beautiful card, and somebody would love to receive it. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. As I say, welcome to Product of the Month, which is this month, also May's month is Vellum. And thank you for joining me for this beautiful cards. And I hope to catch up on you with you Wednesday. Take care. Bye.